Well, good morning. We are happy to be here on this beautiful Friday morning.
It is beautiful.
Ready to kick off one of the happiest weekends in downtown Delaware, the Arts Festival.
Oh, so colorful, so wonderful.
You'll be hearing about that in the show right after our show, in the Delaware City Digest show with our friends Lee and Bob. They'll be talking with our friends from the Delaware Arts Festival, but we've got different things to talk about today. Our guest is Rachel. Oh my gosh, I just had a Rachel Rausch fall out of my head.
Did you see it come right back to you, though? I watched it walk right back in there.
It's early. She hasn't. I don't think she's finished her
I
coffee
haven't.
yet.
No, thank you for recognizing that.
I
know. Rachel Rausch, teen librarian, works at our Orange Branch Library, joining us today to talk about Third Chapter Book Club, teen student study corners, all the things teens at the Orange Branch. We'll talk about that second half of the show. But good morning, Rachel.
Good morning.
Yes, thank you for saving me and giving me grace with my lack of coffee. And Molly, how are you doing this morning?
I am here. I'm awake, and I'm back from the cabin. So
Yes.
I am in total mountain West Virginia zone.
Bemis.
I'm good. Bemis was wonderful.
Bemis Bees, your happy place.
It is my happy place.
Well, let's talk about books, because that's one of the things that we're pretty good at
Yeah,
doing here.
I love talking about books.
Did you read anything while you were in the cabin this weekend?
I did.
Was it a cozy
We got a
mystery?
preview out in the
Oh,
lobby.
yes. So I read if you know the Images of America books, they are like local histories that are written up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I went to a CVS one day and I bought one that said Orange Township. And I was so excited because I was going to learn all about Orange Township between the river and the wooded hills. And I was like, okay. And I read about 2 chapters in and I'm like, we're not on the lake. We're not on that lake. I don't think we have steamers. And that's when I realized this is northern Ohio. But let me tell you, if you make, let's say, an innocent mistake and get the wrong Orange Township, and by the way, there are a lot of Orange Townships in America when you start Googling that.
I believe that.
You actually get a really interesting book. So the whole book was interesting, but I have to say, you get into the chapter, the era of the steam packet, and how they arrived, the immigrants of Orange. Starts talking about how everybody traveled by steamship, what it was like, and unfortunately, even more interesting, about all the steam shipwrecks.
Yeah.
All of them went down. And if you were a woman, don't get on a steamship. You're going to sink. You're just sinking to the bottom with all those dresses. You're done for.
I was like,
I know. It took me a minute to parse that.
No women survive.
Why is women associated
women
with
do
sinking?
not survive. I think 1 or 2 did. This book, though, is fascinating. You get the wealth. You talk about the Shaker Village, how Shaker Heights got its name up that way, because Shakers were there. And funny, they were really into celibacy, and they don't exist anymore. I don't know how that one happened, but you get to listen to the history of it. You get to hear the story of the wealthy villages and how during the Great Depression, the wealthiest men who are about to build the intertransit train tracks lost everything.
Can you give, because I'm still trying to figure out where exactly, what geographic area is this Orange Township?
Northern Ohio, on the lake, near sort of Shaker Heights.
Gotcha.
So,
That's where
I
the
get
Shaker.
really confused
Okay,
too.
gotcha.
I never pulled a map up actually to find it. Near Cleveland, though.
Okay, but so it's a Cleveland area.
It's a
But
Cleveland
a map
area.
would have been useful.
A map
Yes.
would have been right in the front of it.
Maybe on the cover.
Maybe
a
on
little
the cover,
dot on the
maybe
state of Ohio.
If the cover had said Orange Township, but not your Orange Township.
Yeah.
But I have to say, it was fascinating. And get all the way to the end. They have a section, Letters from the Front, World War I and World War II. I started reading them aloud to my mom, and they were making me cry. There's this one of the first people from the Cleveland, this area that weren't men. It was the women going to help in the hospitals. They were the first to go and write home to their families. And one girl who went to be a part of the the entertainment to run the bars and things. They were so excited to have an American, girl there. The letters home to their mothers from the soldiers are just absolutely touching. This was written by Vel Litt. Absolutely worth it. It's not our Orange Township. So I just want everybody to know, if you get Orange Township between the river and the wooded hills, it is not our Orange Township, but it is absolutely worth a read. I've read these before on areas that I'm connected to. So Blennerhassett Island, absolutely read that one. Absolutely worth a read as well. But Orange Township, pick up a book, and if it is not the book you thought it was, go ahead and read it. Give it a chance.
Actually, that's what I'm most fascinated by with everything that you just said, is the fact that you got this book, you started reading, you maybe suspected that this wasn't exactly what you thought it was, but then you pressed onward, because I would not have.
I started this book. I will finish this book, but it was actually really well written, I gotta tell you. And I don't know much about Northern Ohio. I grew up, on the river in the southern part of the state. Yeah. So I kind of know up to Columbus. I had family who they told the stories of living in Columbus. I had family who lived in Cincinnati, but nobody all the way up. I mean, that's just the far
lunacy.
north. I mean, who would live
lunacy.
there? There's snow all the time. So
I also think we need to make a PSA to CVS where you bought this. CVS,
Yes.
This Orange Township book is not our
it's
Orange
not
Township.
our Orange Township, and it is a local CVS. I won't call you out exactly.
Because I am sure they made the same mistake.
In Orange Township.
Maybe that's why
Maybe that's
why they ordered it. They ordered it
I
to
would
stack
think
their
so,
shelves.
yeah.
And never in my mind did I think that townships, which have common shared names, could possibly be anything else. Because on the back it says Orange Township, Ohio.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in Ohio.
I would have thought, I would think that there would only be one per state. There could be 50 or, but one per state. Seems
Not
like enough.
at all. I actually think we have a few more.
There's so many other colors that your township could be.
Things that I have
Purple.
learned.
Has anyone
I
ever been
know.
to Purple Township?
Yeah.
I
How about
have
mauve?
not.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Mauve.
Aqua. Ever heard of Aqua Township? Come
Teal
on, people.
Township. I love
Teal, I would go to Teal.
will help next time anyone's in a township naming mood.
So
call us.
If it makes everybody feel better, finding the right book may be a blunder, but you may find the perfect one. Just pick it up anyway.
In CVS.
In CVS.
In
and I don't
Central
even buy
Ohio's
books.
Orange Township.
I don't buy books.
But now you own this one forever.
I do. This one might get donated on a trip to Cleveland to a
was
little
gonna say-
free library somewhere.
Don't put it in our friend sale. The next person who picks it up is going to be so excited.
Or I'm going to put a huge sticky note on it that says, not this Orange Township,
And
Cleveland.
so excited and subsequently disappointed.
I thought you all would enjoy my mistake and the fact that I did go to the end.
Oh my gosh, that is so
I did not miss a page of that.
so funny. Rachel, is your read as entertaining or suspiciously deceptive as Molly's?
I'm gonna say no. We're going in a really different direction now because my read is horror because
Ooh, okay.
I love horror.
Yes.
And I recently finished the newest Chuck Wendig book, and I love his books. This was called The Staircase in the Woods, and the premise is that it's kind of real Stephen King kind of vibes to it. But the premise is you have this group of friends in high school who are kind of outcasts but have kind of found family with one another. But there's a lot of tension in the group too. And one night they go out to camp in the woods and they come across this staircase that's just in the middle of the woods, not connected to anything, just there. And they've been here before. So the staircase has just appeared.
It's
right?
new.
Yeah.
It's new. What is this new staircase?
Yeah. And they kind of, they're like, that's weird. They kind of ignore it. And they, I know, right? Because they want to go get drunk in the woods. And so, but later on in the night, they come back to check out the staircase. And one member of the group goes up the staircase and he disappears.
Oh.
They can't find him. But they don't go up the staircase.
Shocker.
To check. And so, yes. So then fast forward to when they're adults and they're all just a wreck, basically. I mean, they just all have sorts of problems and issues and guilt over this. And
so they never went up to check? They
Well,
never?
It feels more plausible when you're reading it. This is hard. You gotta suspend reality.
Yeah.
But they looked all around the staircase and they couldn't figure out what had happened. Plus, they were on substances. So
Okay.
yeah. And then I should have said before, when they went back, the staircase is of course gone.
Yeah.
Okay, but they did go back to try to find him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm feeling better now. I'm
They
feeling
did.
better.
Yeah. So anyways, all of these years later, one of the friends emails the others and says, I'm dying of cancer and you all have to come. And so they all do, even though they're not really close anymore. They all pack up and they come. And he's like, we're going on a camping trip.
Oh, no.
And he takes them into the woods. And lo and behold, here's the staircase he has found. He does not have cancer. He was tricking them to get them back to the staircase so that because he's always had so much guilt about them not finding their friend. And so this time they go up the staircase all together. And I can't really tell you more.
Well, that's great.
So
That's a great setup.
Yeah,
I know. I'm going up that staircase.
It's not a good ending for this. I mean, like, the staircase is not leading you to rainbows and unicorns. I'll tell you, it is
I
horror.
know.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, just be warned
But you
about
know-
staircases in the woods. Molly's charging up.
I
She's
know,
like,
I'm
this
like,
is going to be great.
But if I saw a staircase in the woods, no matter how weird, I think I'm going up it.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
And apparently this is the thing, too, because when I read the author's note afterwards, he talked about how sometimes you will just find random staircases in unpopulated areas because of, I don't know, a house being started or a house falling down and the staircase remains. So it's a real phenomenon, but they don't end up taking you to.
Great places.
Well, those staircases presumably don't take you anywhere.
We don't
going
know.
up
I
to
hope they
see.
don't. I don't know.
I am going up them.
Molly's going to find one
going up
in
them.
Orange Township.
In Orange Township.
Cleveland.
Orange Township.
Orange Township, Cleveland.
I like it because in horror movies and books, normally people go down the staircase to the basement. And you're like, don't do that.
Right.
So this is a whole different way.
This one's more intriguing. Like, maybe do that.
I would do that. I would do that.
Molly's like, I would do
and
that.
if you grew up reading like Portal Fantasy, like
Yes.
Narnia, you're
Yes.
like,
Narnia.
of course I will. This
Well-
is going to take me to a magical land of talking animals.
Literally.
No.
Yes.
Not in this case.
Don't believe it.
Curiosity is a problem for me. It's curiosity is there, and I will do
She
it.
had to read all the way to the end of that book.
You make it because maybe they're going to
Curiosity.
move down to this Orange Township. I didn't know until the end. Maybe they could have come back. You don't know.
The settlers of the Shaker Heights Orange Township have
came
made it
on
to
down.
the Central Ohio Orange Township.
Maybe we're secretly Orange Township too, and nobody told me.
The settlers are migrants.
Maybe they went up a staircase and landed in this Orange Township. I don't know.
I get it though, because I'm a chronic finisher as well.
Yes.
If something starts, and even if it's really not that good, I'm like, well, I'm at least enough invested that I have to see this through.
Good for
so.
you.
The book
Good for
thief
you.
took
Is
me.
it though? Because I
No.
feel like
No.
then I end up spending a lot of time reading stuff that I'm like, that wasn't that great, but I can't stop.
But The
Right.
Book Thief took me 100 pages, and then I loved it. It was one of my favorite books of all
Yeah,
time, but
so
it took me
burn.
100 pages before I actually liked it.
This is true. I will say the book that I'm reading right now, I don't love, but I am intrigued by it. So I do think I'll finish it. I'm listening to From Here to the Great Unknown, and it's by Lisa Marie Presley and her daughter, Riley Keough. And if you don't know Lisa Marie, she is the daughter of Elvis Presley, who, and Priscilla Presley. And she split her time. Her parents were basically never really together during her childhood. And so she split her time in Memphis, in Graceland with her dad, and then in LA with her mom. Loved her time in Graceland and Memphis with her dad. And then, of course, he tragically died when she was 9. And then she spent the rest of her life with her mom, kind of trying to figure herself out. Her mom wasn't really ever like a huge presence in her life or as monumental as her dad was, I think is kind of the thing. And the thing that I'm really taking away from this was Elvis was such a giant personality. The way that his fans idolized him and obsessed over him was the same way that his daughter really did. Was the same way that Lisa Marie did. And she just he could do no wrong. When she talked about his temper, she was just like, Albert was fine. He was fine. And when she talked about he was kind of, when he was in Graceland, he was kind of reclusive. He had his own room, so Graceland was also open to the public while he lived there,
Oh.
I didn't realize it was before
really?
he died.
Right.
Well, I think I could be wrong there, but I know that it was it definitely seemed like there was a lot happening in Graceland.
He had a lot of people around him.
There
he
were
had an
always
entourage.
a lot of people there, and she kind of always. How about that? Lisa Marie kind of always felt like she was on display. And so, but you went upstairs and it was Elvis's room and it was Lisa Marie's room. And so they could be up there and they could live up there like 24/7 and just kind of get what they need and not necessarily be on display with the rest of the property because there were cousins and uncles and aunts and everything like that. And then it opened to the public. And then she definitely was like, well, I'll just stay up in my room. But it was still like her safe place. After he dies, she tries to figure out life with her mother, Priscilla. And Priscilla didn't really know what to do with her because none of them were very well figuring out their grief. And so she was 9, and Priscilla was cycling through boyfriends, and some of the boyfriends were okay, and some of them were very much not okay, and they were abusive, both towards her mother and towards her. There were, her mother was kind of like, I don't know what to do with you, so I'm going to send you away to this and that boarding school. There was rebellion. Funny enough, they were talking about the roles that did kind of bring her solitude. She still did get to go back to Graceland occasionally and visit with aunts and uncles there. And then her mother got involved in the Church of Scientology, and that was a really safe space for Lisa Marie. There was I don't know much about the Church of Scientology, but there was a wing called the Celebrity Wing.
Celebrities are very upper echelon.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of Leah Remy's shows.
That's right.
So,
yes. And so she actually spent a good chunk of her teen years in the Celebrity Wing, because that was kind of the deal they struck. It was you go to this boarding school or you go here, and she was like, well, I choose here. And so because she still had some levels of freedom, she finally meets Danny Keough in her time in LA, and that's where Lisa Marie has her daughter Riley. And so what's really interesting about this book is that, and I'm listening to it as well, is that whenever Lisa Marie decided that she was going to finally kind of like put together this idea that she had generating of an biography, she started recording tapes, and it was in 2022. And so she just kind of, started recording these tapes, had all of these wonderful ideas, putting them together. Her daughter and her were going to work with a biographer. And then about a month after she records her last tape, she passes away.
Yeah.
And so this story, her daughter takes control of it, Riley does, and she just kind of almost just transcribes it and then adds in her thoughts every once in a while with like the story of her conception and the story of
Who doesn't want to talk about that?
It is interesting.
I want to read about that.
Lisa Marie said that she tricked Danny. She was like, little did he know, but I had everything planned, and so he had to marry me. And so she talks about these different things, and so it's their stories together. And when you do listen to the audiobook, you actually get to hear some of the clips from Lisa Marie's voice, from her own voice from the tapes. And then Julia Roberts narrates it otherwise.
Cool.
And Riley comes in with her own voice occasionally, too. So it's very interesting. Like I said, it's not beautifully written because Lisa Marie, like I said, it's a transcription.
Yeah.
But it's interesting if you're intrigued. I'm not a giant Elvis fan, but I'm intrigued enough that I am curious to know. And it's a short read. It's only about 6 hours, so I'll be done with it soon.
I remember being young and wanting to be famous. And the older I get, like I wanted somebody to discover me. And
now you have your own radio show.
Now I have my own radio show, Celebrity.
She's made it.
I don't know if I can handle, the flocking fans. But as you get older, you read these stories and you're like, that is not, I love my life. It makes you appreciate sometimes a simple life.
It's really not a beautiful life. And she never really, she was even talking about when Priscilla was having, when Lisa Marie was having Riley, the paparazzi, just you know,
Yeah.
just completely stalking them and just wanting to get that first photo and how the first shot of Lisa Marie holding Riley was about, you know, was sold to the Pops at like, you know, $300,000 in the 80s, which was, you know, like $1 million today. So
And you have to do it to get them off you.
just to get them
make
to go away.
I can't even imagine that
Right.
pressure. I mean, you've got a point, Rachel. We are celebrities. So.
Especially for the kids, though, because they didn't have a choice.
Right,
You know, she
right.
was born into that.
Right,
So
right. Both of them, both Lisa Marie
Yeah.
and Riley.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel that with political kids too. There's nothing that makes me madder. I don't care what political side you're on. If the kid's under 18,
Yeah, don't come at
and
the kids.
Don't come at the kid.
Yeah.
This isn't their choice. Leave
Right.
the kids alone.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a minute talking with Rachel Rausch from the Orange Branch Library about some things in the teen world. So stay tuned.
My music in the morning, the Mid-Ohio Breakfast Club.
Hey, what's going on? Mark, Sherry, and Pam here at The Breakfast Club every weekday morning between 6 and 9. Ty Higgins from the Ohio Farm Bureau joined us in studio the other day, and purely by accident, I don't know how I did it, but apparently I impressed Ty.
I've never heard a segue using agriculture before. That was pretty dang sweet
nice?
right there. Yeah, that was slick. That was, from one planting season to Mark, you're a genius.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's nice. Did you hear that, Pam?
Get him through the door.
Pam's like, yeah, don't give him a big head.
Repeat after Ty. Mark, you're a genius. Let's see if Pam can say that.
There's the day's promo right there.
It is. So we have a lot of fun in the morning. Love to have you join us. Sherry has Mid-Ohio news. Pam in charge of traffic updates all throughout the show. The Breakfast Club between 6 and 9.
Mark, you're a genius.
Oh, stop.
Serving America's heartland, my 96.7.
Welcome back. We're happy to be here with you this morning, and I'm going to get right into it with our guest this morning. We have Rachel Rausch, who is a youth services librarian specializing in teen services at our Orange Branch Library, and you've brought back a program that we did a little bit ago that's called Next Chapter Book Club. Can you tell us about what Next Chapter Book Club is?
Yeah, absolutely. So this happened before COVID, I think, and I did not work here at that time. So I actually didn't know about it, and I have you to thank, Nicole. I don't know if you know the founding, if you remember the founding or the conversation, because
Was it at the block party?
Yep, the DCBDD block party. We had
Nice.
went, and a patron, actually, I was talking to her. She had a daughter who was in her mid-20s with developmental disabilities, and she said, I really wish we could have a book club because there's just not much for this, you know, for these people. And I was like, that's a great idea. And Nicole and I were both there. And afterwards I was talking to her about it. And she goes, well, you know about the Next Chapter Book Club, right? And I was like, no, tell me more. So anyways, so after that, I went about kind of reviving it. And we meet once a month. We have had 3 meetings so far, and it is a lot of fun. It's so much fun. It's really nice because there's no, I call it homework. There's no homework.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do any reading at home. We do all of the reading in the club. So we might read a short story together, or we did a play at our just a short play at our last meeting.
Oh, how
We
much
did
fun.
Yeah. We've done, in April, we did Shel Silverstein poems for National Poetry Month.
Nice.
And so there's a lot of discussion too. So we have some really great conversations, and we kind of take turns reading, but we welcome all reading levels. So
Yeah.
it, no one should feel uncomfortable about coming. And it's for teens and adults. So we've had a really good mix of ages so far. But I'm trying to spread the word a little bit more because it is a newer program.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so just trying to get it off the ground. Our next meeting is going to be June 9th. I want to say June 9th. I know it's always going to be Monday from 4 to 5. And I think that Monday is the 9th.
We'll double check.
Yes.
Please do.
Someone keep talking, and I'll look it up.
Please do.
Yeah, the next chapter book club is it was a group that, you're right, pre-COVID had kind of come and met at the Delaware Main Library, and it was more of an outside group that just kind of used the Delaware Library as their space. But we love, I think one of the great things about that story is that we were we are a community partner with the Delaware County Board of Developmental Disabilities. And as such, they invite us to their community block party that they do in September every year. And good, Molly got the date.
Yep, June 9th.
June 9th.
Oh, I was right. Oh,
You were right, Rachel.
And so they invite us to the block party. And so then we get to talk with the folks that receive services and support from the Delaware County Board of DD. And so we get to learn a little bit more about what that community also needs from the library. And so that was just such an organic conversation and had such an easy, solution.
And the really fun thing about it is that patron, her daughter, is one of my regular members.
Amazing.
And at the first meeting when they came in, I said to her, I was like, "You are the reason that we are here today because you made us aware that this was, a need in the community." And so,
want. When we hear people are really wanting something, we try to meet that need.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just been so much fun. We have a lot of laughs. We have some really good talks. So
I love you not having the pressure. I've thought about book clubs occasionally, but the pressure to read by a certain date, a certain book, sometimes just kind of makes me be like, maybe I can't do that. Or sometimes you have a book club you like and you didn't finish the book and you don't want to go because there are some people who will judge you. There are some who will judge you. Not me, because I probably didn't read the book. But it's really nice to have that sort of pressure taken off.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So your next meeting will be Monday, June 9th at 4 o'clock, and it will continue to meet over the course of the summer?
Yes. It is going to keep going indefinitely.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
We only have the summer date set yet, but it will keep going indefinitely. And I think the nice thing about that as well is that if you have to miss a meeting, you're not behind.
Right.
It's going to be something completely new and different each meeting. So if you can't make every single meeting, that's okay.
Right. And the no homework thing is really wonderful. You just show up and then you have something right there in front of you that you'll be able to read. And of course, because this is a book club for teens and adults with disabilities, the reading level is really appropriate for everyone who's coming.
Yep.
And even if your child maybe is not, somebody, or you are not somebody who is a big reader, we'll make accommodations. That's what we're all about.
Yes. Yeah. We don't want to turn anyone away for that reason. I mean, we'll never turn anyone away. We're a library.
Right.
But yeah, it's very casual. Everyone's really supportive of each other. So it's a good time.
Okay, now let's shift gears to the other group of teens that come into the library. And those are the teens that are like getting ready for finals week.
Yes.
So what's happening with them?
So starting today, we are going to have our student study corner, and that is, we have a teen zone in the Orange Library, and that's always there. But during finals week, we close, we've got the big garage door. We close that so that they get a really quiet atmosphere, and we have different stations around the teen area to help them in their studies. So we have fidgets and squishies and things. We have brain break stuff where they can make an essential oil bead necklace, or work on some puzzles or do some coloring to kind of take a break and give their brain a rest. So we've got, like notepads that have those to-do lists that they can take, and earplugs and lots of good stuff there. So they can go in and they can take advantage of that. And that'll be up through next Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
it's a great opportunity for both if you need the place to study, but also if you need the break from studying too. But I think your teens are very respectful and they'll know the difference,
They absolutely
we're
are.
not going to be loud over here. We're going to be quiet, to still give kids their time.
They absolutely are.
Yeah. They're a great group. There's also going to be another student study corner that will have snacks. I want to say at the Liberty Branch
is at
Library.
Liberty,
And I was trying to figure out which day theirs is. Yes, theirs is Monday from 2 to 6:30.
Yeah, and that is going to be a little bit more. Mine is kind of you can come whenever, and theirs is going to be you can come during this time. And the benefit to that is she will feed you.
And yours is that it's any time and it's on your own flexibility.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, we just flew by our day today, but I just want to give a big thank you because you also do a good job at coordinating all of our volunteens this summer. So
75 volunteens signed up for this summer.
Yeah. Students who come, and that's just at the Orange Branch, right? Who students who come and do work in the library library to help us run our summer reading club. You're a massive part in that. So are our other teen librarians, Katie and Claire, and it's just a really big undertaking. So as you train them, you keep them professional. So
We couldn't do it without them, honestly. We couldn't do a summer reading club without them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We got to go. We got to let the city talk about the arts festival.
We do. That's going to be exciting too.
While you're doing that, stop by the main library. The Friends are having their biggest book sale ever, so do that too.
And definitely maybe look closer into a book on Orange Township and make sure it's the one you're looking for.
All right. Well, thank you, Molly.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
Until next week, we'll see you in the stacks.